I have a question to start off with before we get into things. If Ghostface gave you a call, would you even want to pick up the phone?
Well, depending on what decade we're in and what generation we're on, and depending on the question he's asking, like you always got, like what's your favorite movie and all that shit. I would probably maybe I would pick up the phone. Maybe not. I don't know. It depends.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. If it was on a cell phone, I'd immediately be like, block. Nope, absolutely not.
Oh, it's like a cell phone, dude.
Yeah, they needed cell phones in 1996. I mean, they had them, but they weren't that great. I don't think. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the better cell phone, big black cell phone back then.
Hello to everybody. How are you? It is I, the Terrorific Lady, otherwise known as Brandy, and welcome to Retro Horror School Talks, where I bring people on and we talk, analyze, and gush over what else? Horror. I'm going to start off by introducing our special guest today, Lorelei, also known as LKTheHorrorNerd, a deafblind, non-binary trans woman and content creator whose pronouns are she, they. Welcome. It is so great to have you here.
Yeah, and it was also nice to have you on my other show, The Horror Nerd. That's been with my co-host. It was a lot of fun having you. In fact, I will be having you again, probably on my other show later on for After Dark with The Horror Nerd. But yeah, it's very nice to have you.
Tell us more about, you're a horror content creator. You got your fingers in all sorts of pies. So tell us more about what you do and what kind of horror content you create.
Okay, so I'm a comedian. Other than doing like horror comedy stuff, I also do like retro gaming, cozy comedy stuff as well as a badass Granny gamer. It's a little bit funny actually, because you see, I've gotten older recently, and I'm 36 years old, yeah. But I've got me like gray hair and everything recently, and it's gotten to a point where I'm like, you know what? I got all these old school consoles and everything, and I'm sitting down one day playing with these little filters where I look young and then I look old with the wrinkle and everything on the filter on Snapchat, and I came up with this idea where, you know what? That's how I need to start doing comedy. And then later on, I started working on like horror comedy, where just recently I just created an idea of like, doing a writer sitting in a room writing a book, like a horror book, and I'm haunted by a ghost flipping me off. That was pretty good. Like that was on Instagram Reel, by the way. It'll be on YouTube short pretty soon. But yeah, so there's that. And I'm also a writer, a poet. I'm a filmmaker, actor, director, and producer. I'm working on a couple of films right now. I'm a gamer and streamer on Twitch and YouTube. I'm trying out the new platform right now that's just brand new. So I'm not sure how that's gonna go. There's also a couple other things I'm working on, like the two different podcasts I'm on. One that I'm doing things on my own, and then another one that I'm doing with my co-host, Yanni Hamburger, who also has his own thing going on as well. That one is called Horror Nerd, that's not, and then this one is just the Horror Nerd, but with different type of sub podcasts, like After Dark with the Horror Nerd. Then another third, Dungeon one, I can't really pronounce that very well, where I go travel around the world and check out haunted houses and stuff like that. And I interview other people as well on that one, but it's more like my own solo thing. And then I do a lot of artwork and my own merchandise and stuff like that. So really, I'm a pie, like I say, and everything. Really. But yeah, then also my other stuff, like I said, going like retro games and stuff like that outside of horror. Like, for example, I have the Study stuff here, pretty cool stuff, collector from
Oh,
1989. That
Super
was only
Nintendo.
like 15 bucks when I found it. So, but yeah, I do a lot of collector stuff. But yeah, just a little bit of everything. Really. One side is horror, the other side retro cozy stuff with a little bit of wrestling. But yeah.
Yep, you sound like that you are a person. Well, I know this for a fact. You are a person of many, many talents because I see you all over the place. I follow you on Instagram. I follow you on Threads. I'm subscribed to your YouTube. So I see everything that you do and that you come up with, and it's all really cool. So, as a side note, people should go subscribe to LK the Horror Nerd and the Horror Nerd Experience. We'll get more of where people can find you near the end of things.
You can find everything later, the NFT, online trade and all that, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but we are going to get into the horror movie that LK picked, which is Scream. So a little bit of background behind this movie. It came out in 1996. And this was around the era when people were pretty sick of slasher movies. They thought that they were on their last legs. They thought they were dying. And then this movie came out and it changed the game in a lot of ways. It came out on December 20th, 1996, 5 days before Christmas, and it made $173 million worldwide, which in today's money is $348 million, which is still a lot of money. And I want to, and I think that you will agree with me, because people who were not born yet or who were young during this time, pretty young, may not understand how huge this movie was.
Yeah, for me, I gotta be what, let's say, maybe 8 years old when it came out or something like that. I was born in 1988. And so in 1996, I gotta be at least maybe 8 years old at the time. So yeah, I would say the significance of the film, not a lot of people understand it, yeah, especially those who were young like me. But I did see it at that age, and I didn't really understand the impact of it yet. Not until I was about 13 or 14 when I started like going through a few years later. And I started understanding why, because as a teenager, I was like angry all the time, kind of understanding the significance of the Scream franchise when we were getting to that. So yeah, I think we will finally started to understand so how meta it was. So yeah.
In my area, Scream was in movie theaters for 6 months, and then it left, and then they put it back in theaters for another 6 months. I don't remember another movie having that big of a presence in theaters like before or since.
Yeah, the closest thing that will have a presence like that will be Terrifier 3.
Yeah.
But right now, they are coming back into theater for Christmas. And considering it's now coming back into theater, not just in the UK and Ireland, but in the US as well. So there has not been a movie like that that came back within, what, a 3-month period? But when you say that it was in theater for 6 months, you say, right?
Yes. 6 months.
And left, and then came back for another 6 months. But this one is literally 3 months and going to have a limited run for about a week or whatever because Christmas. But yeah, that's not You're right. That's not really a bad question. Like Gwen, because Gwen coming back to theater like that. I mean, I don't remember a movie like that. Maybe The Crow, considering Brandon Lee.
Mm-hmm.
Got a lot of people. Determined The Crow played twice in theater by my too sure. I can't remember much because I was a little kid when I saw it. I remember that was like 1994 when it came out, I think. And this is like right around the Grand era where Kurt Cobain got. Everybody was dying at that time. The Kurt Cobain, Brandon Lee,
Yeah.
yeah. So honestly, for a movie like that to have a president, and then come back darker. My older brother at the time, who was still alive, was like taking me back to the theater. Was like, "Yo, we gotta go see this again." And I'm like, "Wow, we just started like it's coming back in theater." So whatever.
Like,
I go ask mom because she ain't gonna spend that much money again. You better have allowance. I'm just a kid, but we still had allowance back then.
yep. Back when going to see a movie in the 90s cost about $4.
Yeah, if that. I mean, it depends, you know.
Yeah.
What part of the 90s, because in the late 90s, you're looking at how movies, especially in the 90s, were starting to get a little bit tired. People were looking for anything, but they had no idea what they were going to watch. Like, there was Tommy Boy, there was all these comedies, there was Adam Sandler coming out with so many fucking movies. And we
Yeah.
had no idea if he was ever going to fucking die. But yeah.
Like, speaking of the 90s tends to be dismissed as the forgotten era of horror. People think that the 90s sucks, that there wasn't a lot of good 90s horror films that came out. But I would like to ask you, how would you describe the impact of 90s horror on you as a horror fan?
Okay. Because I part of the creative thinking community. I'm a contributor to that. I'm on the credit roll for the Into the Darkness trilogy for 80s horror. And they're now coming out with the 90s horror for 1990 for 1994. Are you gonna see me on the credit again? Um, and I think that you're probably gonna see me on the as one of the influencers talking about it. But I would say I don't think it was really the forgotten era because there was a lot of pretty good movies that came out. Um, because one, visual effects had improved vastly in terms of like um budget, like because movie studios were looking to find ways to improve the visual effects, the practical effects, the visual effects, everything. And if you look at movies like Dracula, okay, Dracula was literally one of the greatest films so far that was, by the way, this was like a reimagining at the time. It wasn't really a remake, but it was a reimagining. And nobody could capture Dracula like that before. Because before they had the campy Dracula version, like
Yeah.
in the 80s and the 70s and the 60s and all that stuff.
Mhm.
But now you see the visual effect come to life. You see Dracula transform into all these different mythical creatures, like werewolf, vampire, a myth, like a bard and everything, even a bat. And
Yep.
so you could do that. And then you see something like green. The practical effect alone on green was perfect because not only you got all the blood and gore, but the way that Katie Becker was talking like that, with the intensity and everything, like right at the beginning of a film, you don't do that on a movie like that very often. Not until probably years later when horror movie got more gory. Because in the 90s, they tried to tone it down a little bit, yeah. But then they brought it back later on in the 2000s and stuff like that, especially with Texas Chainsaw Massacre coming back and going like, no what, fuck it, we're going to go in again. Like that. But literally, I would say the 90s was not really forgotten. Really, yes, it was toned down just a little bit. But special effects were coming back in a way that was going to make you remember certain things. And yeah, they were going to call it thriller. They were trying to rebrand horror as thriller.
Yeah.
Because MPA or MPAA or whatever was hitting us hard, literally, especially with films like Silence of the Lamb and stuff like that. They were worried about films like from the 80s coming out, and then you got Texas Chainsaw Massacre trying to make it through the 90s. And yeah, honestly, yeah, I don't think it was really forgotten. It was just more toned down, that's all.
Yeah, and as a side note, you mentioned creators VC's In Search of Darkness 90 to 94. I'm also going to be on the credits right there with you. So my name is there in the credits. And for anybody who backed it, the digital version is out right now. They sent it to people's mailboxes. If you were a backer of that, definitely go to your mailbox, get that, and watch it. Now, I want to ask, what is the horror origin story of LKTheHorrorNerd? So, what was the first movie that pulled you into the horror genre? It may have even been Scream. It may have not. But what was your first horror movie that made you love horror?
Well, I was just talking about that about a few weeks ago, which just premiered, by the way, just a few days ago, with Playtime Horror. We were talking about how the Texas Chainsaw Massacre was one of the very first films, along with some of the classic 80s, like Friday, Jason, and all that. But Texas Chainsaw Massacre, especially that day, was Franklin. Becoming the very first memory that I know of that made me fall in love with horror. So I would say, yeah, the retro Texas Chainsaw Massacre film was the very first film that made me fall in love with horror.
I really now want to know, how has Scream influenced you as a horror fan? And do you still think this movie holds up, even though it's a little over 30 years old?
I would say yes, because I'm 36 years old. The fact that this film is just a little over 30 years old, just a little over, and I'm 32. Wow. Okay, so it's about what, 6 years older than me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'll give you that one, Graham. Wes Craven, I'll give you that one. Rest in peace. All right, love you, man. I would say yes. It still holds up as a horror fan and as a horror creator and as a filmmaker because honestly, it inspired me to come up with something original, something challenging. Because you're not going to see a lot of really good slasher now. And unless you get really, really creative and come up with a brand new original story, I promise you, you're not going to see a lot of good slasher out there nowadays. Some of them might be okay, but damn. Damn if you do, damn if you don't. But
Yeah.
it's honestly, I'm gonna have to say, yeah, it's absolutely holds up, no matter what. It's done the test of time. Long after many of us are gone, I'm pretty sure the next generation is going to find it interesting if they manage to look it up.
Yeah, I remember I was 15 when I first saw it. So I'm 42, so I'm the oldest out of both of us. Now I feel really old, but
Okay, I'll give you that one.
yeah, yeah, you'll give me that one. So I was 15 when it came out, and I first saw it on VHS, and that was pretty much my entire 1997. I was constantly putting Scream into the VCR, and I think I'm trying to remember, I think I lost the tape in one of our mini moves, and I was never able to replace it. Ah.
Yeah, how long ago, wait a minute, how long after theater did it end up in VHS? I was trying to remember. Because we got it on VHS like a while later, but I couldn't remember what year. It was like 1997 it came out.
Yeah, okay, let me see the exact release date. Okay, VHS release date of Scream 1996.
Because I know in 1992 it was in theater, and then
Okay.
1997.
So they have two versions. I don't know what version means. Maybe it's like the different kind of VHS case. But version 1 came out on June 24th, 1997. And version 2 came out on December 2nd, 1997.
Version 2. Okay, I think they were talking about maybe a special edition because I remember there was a special edition on the cover when we were looking for a blockbuster that day. Because blockbuster was still around.
Yep.
So when we rented it, by the way, we never bought it back. Because blockbuster was starting to go out a few years later, and we moved away. So we never brought it back. Oh, I'm sorry, Blockbuster. Don't come after me. I know there's still one Blockbuster left out there on the Pacific Northwest somewhere. So Blockbuster, if you are watching it, don't come after me. You're never going to find it. I promise you. We do not have it anymore. You can contact all my family members. I promise you, we do not have it anymore. Don't find me.
You are safe here. I will protect you.
But yeah, at that time when we rented it, it was just coming like around the holiday.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a special edition, and they have both versions of it. The regular and the special edition, I think. We were renting it like every week. We were one about, and then about 3, maybe 6 months later, one day we just forgot about it because we moved away later to like another town far away, and there was no blockbuster nearby. There was maybe a Hollywood video, and then we went to another copy of a fucking Hollywood video. Oh shit, Hollywood video gonna be pissed off now. Um, video, we collected a lot of VHS tapes back then. But yeah, it was pretty good being able to have VHS in our home because back then we were just getting into DVD. There wasn't even out yet because DVD was just starting like what 98, 99, something like that.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, we just found out that there's gonna be DVD related, and then we waited for Scream to hit DVD, and that's just the time. But yeah, we own almost every single version of Scream there and my family, even our autographed Wes Craven copy. Yeah,
That is so cool.
yeah. So we're not selling it, just so you know.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah, a lot of people been asking us for that copy, by the way. So it's like 3 different copies that was all done by Wes Craven, Matthew Lillard, Steve Owen, David Campbell, and Courtney Cox, and I'm trying to remember the name of the actor who played Dewey.
David Arquette. David Arquette.
David Arquette, thank you. I was trying to pronounce his name, but yeah, thank you. But yeah, all done by them. And so we have 3 different copies all done by them. There was VHS, there was a DVD, and then there was a Blu-ray. And then we met them over time, and then there was a poster, but yeah, there was like a lot of collectible over the years, but it was a lot of fun. But yeah, people kept asking us for those collectibles, and we're like, nope, we're not done it.
Absolutely not. So you can stop asking me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Now, this movie, Scream, it tackles a lot of different themes. For instance, it talks about how the media sensationalizes and hypes up violence. It talks about survivor trauma. It talks about how being anonymous can help enable cruelty and violence. So you could talk about one theme, you could talk about all of them, but how do you feel that these themes are communicated in the movie, like throughout the story, the characters, what have you?
Okay, so let's start with the anonymous. But with anonymous, I would say, well, how it enables the cruelty and violence. Okay, in some way, it traumatized me a little bit. And the reason why that is just because I was a survivor of being cyber assault and cyberbullying and all that stuff, and being abused, and similar fashion where people would like harass me online and shit like that, right? That was like a long time ago. I've had people in high school bully me in similar fashion as well. And so when you see a movie like that, you can't help but wonder, where did they learn this shit, right?
Yeah.
Um, and whether like enabling this type of behavior because they were trying to educate people about like how to prevent it because of the fact that it's not being talked about, or maybe it's trying to tell us that this is a byproduct of white supremacy. I don't know. Because you see right now, today, white supremacists are doing that kind of stuff. And it's pretty good. It's pretty dangerous. And they're learning that shit from not just the movie or the media, but maybe from the upbringing. And that's why you have to wonder, how does it, like, tell people what to expect and how to protect yourself when it comes to, being anonymous, and how to stop that. And that's not going to be easy to do. And now there's another topic, survivor trauma. Very, very deep. I can relate to Lee Campbell on that one, who played Jennifer Cox on that one. Honestly, pretty sad to see that, because it's really fucked up to see a lot of people around her basically mocking her about losing her mother and everything. And then you got like high school cheerleader mocking her in that bathroom stall, and
Mm-hmm.
she's hiding in overhearing what they say about her mother. But like this whole Ricky Lake shit, right? Going like, wow, how much that is so in or whatever. And I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with that blonde?
Some slack. She watched her mom get butchered. Yeah, and it fucked her up royally. Think about it. Her mother's death leaves her disturbed and hostile in a cruel and inhumane world. She's delusional. Where's God, etc. Completely suicidal. One day she snaps. She wants to kill herself, but she realizes that teen suicide is out this year, and homicide is a much healthier therapeutic expression.
Where do you get this shit?
Ricky Lake.
Oh, you are pathetic.
But honestly, when you cover stuff like that and you talk like that, I'm like, what the fuck do you hear this shit? Ricky Lake. And I'm like, if Oprah was talking about this shit, you would not be watching that shit because you're a white girl. Oh wow. Yeah, that's why I got a little pissed off because it's an all-white cast. You will never hear that from Oprah. I promise you. Because honestly, the media has centralized, like you said, the violence and everything, and it's gotten to a point now where you're going to see horror movies involved better reputation until doing and hopefully a better life because you know you got queer reputation, you got trans reputation, you got black reputation, all that stuff, right?
Yes.
Now it's different. But back then, honestly, just a lot of white boys being fucking angry and pissed off, probably for all the wrong reasons.
Yep. I think the theme of sensationalized violence or sensationalizing violence kind of it hits me the most because it makes me think of even just it has not stopped. Even the media today will chase a story to death. They will, whenever someone's tragically murdered, they will focus more on the killer than they will on the victim. It pisses me off that they tend to want to focus on the negative. And if you remember in Scream 2, they even made a fake movie off of the book that Gail Weathers wrote. They made that fake horror movie Stab.
I remember that.
Yeah. And but yeah, that sensationalization of violence kind of sticks with me the most because I guess it pisses me off.
Oh, I agree. It absolutely pissed me off too. But yeah, it's just a lot of white brutality going on and that I would not even touch that.
Yeah. Wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Now, as I mentioned before, this movie came out at around the time where people were not really all that loving with slashers anymore because they thought they were all starting to become the same. Then Scream comes out. Do you think that Scream fits the typical definition of a slasher, or do you think it brought something new to that subgenre?
Okay, so slasher been a shotgun, it had been for so long because you're talking about slasher in a way that it's a shotgun, right? You're looking at things like Freddy, Jason, or Leatherface technically. But it's always like slasher, hacker, and senseless violence and stuff like that. And not technically a story. But if you wanted to have a backstory and a background to it, and say, your stepmother fucked my father, like with Billy Loomer, and then you need a motive. Oh, you want a motive? How's that for motive, Sydney? And I'm like, whoa, you got a lot of hostility, Billy. Fuck you. But yeah, that was like a plot twist right there. That's the moment when we realized, okay, maybe this is not really a plot anymore. This is where we realized this becomes something new. You finally have a backstory, you have a reason, you have a motive. This is like a serial killer documentary sort of, in a way. Because this is where it becomes like a true crime type of movie.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I'm not going to say unfortunately technically because I'm going to say for two reasons. One, unfortunately, movies like Scream like to true crime documentaries because you're going to eventually hear about somebody getting inspired by movies like this and be like, you know what? I want to become a star now. Like, and then you lead to a movie like with Joe Rabbit on Screen 4. Be like, how you can anybody ever become a star anymore on TikTok? For 15 minutes of fucking thing. Ugh. A star for own content. And I'm like, really? You want to become a star by killing people? What? What? And that actually led to an actual documentary about an actual TikTok creator who murdered people. So yeah, and that's why it's unfortunate. The unfortunate part. And then you got the fortunate part right here, where the actor is reborn. Because now you can create the actor movie with a story. You give it a purpose, like movie like Thanksgiving that came out last year. You got a reason, you got a motive. The sheriff guy is pissed off because you took the love of his life away from him and a baby. And then 1 year later, you're planning, and then you start hacking and slacking, and you're getting really, really creative. That's why they say that Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving might be the best meta slasher film since Grinch. So again, when you're talking about adding something new to it, I would say yes, it's very possible that Glenn might have introduced a new life to the franchise and to the genre general when they fresh to blood into horror and a subgenre. But at the same time, it brought in a lot of headache to it, like with the true crime stuff and everything, and created a documentary about that TikTok creator who killed some people and yeah, got really fucked up. So that's what happened. There's some good, there's some bad.
Yeah. I also want to point out, you mentioned Scream as being a meta slasher. That is the thing that I can pick out of this movie that I think is the most clever. Wes Craven tried with the movie Wes Craven's New Nightmare. It didn't hit with a lot of people. He tried it again with Scream, and for some reason it just clicked because you have characters that are very aware that there are horror movies out there. They talk about horror movies. They even watch horror movies. And
how to survive in a horror movie. Brandy!
Yep, the 3 rules.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie. For instance, number 1, you can never have sex. Big no-no! Big no!
I'm a dead man.
Sex equals death, okay? Number 2, you can never drink or do drugs. No, the sin factor. It's a sin. It's an extension of number 1. And number 3, never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
I'm getting another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Yeah, that's so many interesting rules. That's really funny. But yeah, I do agree that in this film, people are aware and they're talking about horror. And they're literally in the horror section with Stu and Billy and Randy and that thing. And they're just talking about it. And then Randy and they're screaming. And Randy is like on the top of the line, like, are you telling me that's not a serial killer?
Yeah, if you were the only suspect in a senseless bloodbath, would you be standing in the horror section?
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely. Because with Wes Craven, New Nightmare, it's gonna hit. They try with that. Because Wes Craven, New Nightmare was supposed to be Freddy's rebirth in a way.
Yeah.
But where Scream, it's more, oh, well, no. But let's not forget that with Scream, you got these different characters, okay? That's trying to represent a generation that are disrespected by everything that's going on around us. And it's not just like the horror movie or whatever, it's more like the the 90s, that is set up with the 90s or the 80s or whatever, the generating out or stuff like that. And they're trying to represent the generation. Saying, I'm pissed off with the government, I'm pissed off with the media, I'm pissed off with the whatever, And they're trying to come up with a reason to kill.
Yeah.
And then this reason happened to be for Billy. Well, I'm killing you because, well, let's face it, your mother fucked my father.
Okay. Yeah, great reason, Billy.
Yeah, but what about all the other people who killed? What was no reason for that?
No, not at all. Like, Billy.
What was your reason of killing Kenny? The Cannibal Man?
Yeah, poor
What the
Kenny.
hell was Kenny?
Oh my gosh, poor Kenny. He was just trying to do his job. He was just trying to do his job and go in the house and save people that get slashed across the throat. Poor guy.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to figure out.
Man. So we've been talking a little bit about our favorite moments, our favorite lines, our favorite scenes in this movie. But what are some scenes in this movie that you feel really stand out?
Okay, other than that, that just matter where they were standing in the horse, that a few were like the honest that bad or whatever. Yeah, that was like one of my favorite. There's another favorite of mine. Casey Becker training, that was a really good one. Really traumatized, but it was a good one because it was a very creative kill. Considering the fact that Ghostface, I don't know what Ghostface at this time because remember there were two killers. We had no idea if it was Stu or Billy doing that. I had no idea how they had that much time to do that right before the parent cut out, and then the mother was screaming, going like, finding Casey like that. And I was like, how you had time to hate her like that? You were just stabbing her.
Yeah, that's a good question. Now that you think about it, what? It takes him all of 15 seconds to disembowel her and hang her from a tree?
That gotta be quick.
Man,
That gotta be a rocket.
Yeah, he's good at what he does. Oh God, I can't even believe I'm saying that. He's good at what he does.
Well, if you're that good, then you're probably good at that then.
Yeah, that I would have.
There's a theory about serial killer. I mean, there's a theory about serial killer. That's in a movie. If you're that good at what you do, then you must be good at that.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. Really good thing. Absolutely great thing. And that's also one of my favorite lines too. Billy Loomis, everybody, well, let's be honest, we all know, well, actually, I know, I could tell right away from the very beginning for some reason. Well, I was watching the whole film. But right at the end, when they were at Stu's house, they closed the door, and there were Sydney, Randy, and Billy all at the door, right? Closing the door and everything. So Billy turned around and so we all go a little mad sometimes.
We all go a little mad sometimes. No! Anthony Perkins, Psycho.
Gave me fucking chill the way he looked like that when he said that line. Gave me fucking chill. I love that. That was a good one. That was a good thing. The other thing, my personal favorite, well, I actually filmed that one when I was gonna get with Cova on my Instagram. I'm getting Rudy here, man.
Yeah.
My favorite. Dude, it's my favorite character of all. I love the way he makes me laugh throughout the whole movie, no matter what.
My mother's gonna be so mad at me.
Yeah, my parents gonna be mad at me. Yeah, so awesome. Yeah, he actually stumbled on that line because there was a fun fact. He actually messed up that line, so he improvised that thing. He was supposed to say something else, and then he was going like, "My parents gonna be so mad at me." He was blabbering the whole time. That's why he went so fucking iconic on that. They kept it in. Anyway. It was so perfect. Fun
Wow.
fact.
Wow. I didn't know that. That's really cool. Yeah, my absolute favorite scene is actually one of yours as well. It's the opening of Scream with Casey Becker. And a little known fact for everybody listening, it's 12 minutes long, but there is so much that goes on in that scene that it feels like it is a lot longer, but it doesn't drag. It just feels like that because there's a lot going on. And that is a terrifying scene. The moment in that scene that really gets me is when he says,
You never told me your name.
Why do you want to know my name?
I want to know who I'm looking at.
What did you say?
is like, what?
That was a good thing.
Ugh, this very, very creepy, still holds up. It is probably one of the best 12 minutes in a horror film that I can think of. The best opening. I'm biased though.
Oh, nobody would say you were biased on that because that's a really good thing. I mean, I think a lot of people will agree with that thing. I would too, though. But yeah, another thing of mine is where Randy would definitely be telling the letting the rules and everything. That's like the best thing. Absolutely one of my favorite, by the way.
Randy, he's quite the character, though. I'm glad that he didn't end up being the killer.
Yeah, because if you know all the rules of surviving in a horror movie, you didn't become the killer, and yet you die in the next one, and then you made a tape from Beyond the Dead on Scream 3. It'd be like, if you're watching the tape and made that didn't make it, and then you still add the rule. You still adding rule to it. And I'm like, wait a minute. Do you add another rule about don't fuck with the daughter of a serial killer? Because the daughter of a serial killer made that rule.
Yep.
I thought Randy did not see that coming.
No, I don't think he would have either at all. Now, let's say that we are in the world of Scream. So we are in Scream's world. Let's go ahead and stick with the 1996 movie since that's mainly the one that we've been talking about. But who is the character that would be your absolute best friend, and who would you go out of your way to avoid?
I would go the fuck out of my way to avoid Billy. Shit. Because Billy creeped the fuck out of me. My best friend, let's see. Probably not Tatum, because let's face it, she seems like a snobby bitch. Let's see. Although I'm glad she died because the way she behaved the whole time was just rude. That's fun. Not get weather because she was a total bitch. I didn't like her. Although I eventually liked her later on in the other movies. Dewey, I would definitely be fun with Dewey. I mean, he would need backup, but I would back him up. But I would have loved to be fun with Drew if he wasn't the killer. But I think the fact that he dated was peer pressure. I'm like, why is he involved in this anyway? That's what I was wondering. But the fact that he was involved in killing the mother too, kind of makes you wonder, was he really pressured to do that? Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have been the person that was friends with Stu and not even realize that he was a killer because I'm oblivious to stuff like that.
That's how it's done. But if we were actually back in 1996 in that world, I wanted to know who was Billy hanging out with at that time, because if we're going to find out Samantha Carpenter's mother and everything, especially when you're all connected, that's Billy Loomis' daughter. So I wanted to know, how did they even have time to hang out together if they were dating?
Yeah. Yeah.
Make a prequel.
Yeah, like a great prequel. Free Scream. No, I guess it would that would be like a silly title like Whisper. I have no idea. I'm horrible titles.
What's the before the Scream?
Like in that song at the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Scream has been such a huge part of popular culture. Like you mentioned earlier, there's like so many collectibles out there. It's Ghostface is iconic now as a like in the pantheon of horror. Yeah, absolutely. And it also changed the way that even teenagers, I say teenagers because the actors in there are older than teenagers, but that's another story. It changed the way that teenagers
It
changed the way that teenagers were portrayed in horror films, because in the past teenagers were portrayed as kind of dummies, and then after Scream, it's like horror movies went out of their way to make teenagers very self-aware and intelligent. So in what other ways do you think that Scream helped to influence pop culture?
Okay, well, if you're talking about pop culture, you're looking at like TV shows and stuff like that, constantly referencing movies. Like Gilmore Girls referenced the Godfather all the time. I'd be like, tell everybody here what you think to know, you know. Like Gilmore Girls, you're not like that was just silly. That was just a silly thing. But anyway, yeah, Lola, yeah, that's my name, by the way. Lola, Roy doing that whole Godfather reference over and over. But you never see TV show reference movie like Scream that often. Unless, you know, you have a Hoyer TV show reference Scream.
Yeah.
Or they'll be like, hey, you want to go watch Scream? That's weird. But honestly, I would say that Scream did influence pop culture in terms of like maybe video games, maybe, and other movies, sort of. But TV shows not that often. But if you're going to talk about TV shows, maybe Yellow Jacket or other TV shows that might have been influenced by Scream. And of course, the actual TV show Scream.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, there's not a lot of TV shows that was really influenced by Scream and stuff. But yeah, you're going to see a whole bunch of movies that had some kind of inspiration from Scream. But yeah, it did have a huge influence on pop culture, absolutely. So Ghostface showing up on the Celebrity Deathmatch, I think.
I think you're right. MTV, right? Yeah.
And that part might have had a hand in that, maybe, but I might have been fan of that part. Beavis and Butthead, I'm not sure if they ever had anything to do with that. But I know the Simpsons might have had something to do with that, with Treehouse of Horror. There's always like Halloween themed episode on TV show where they had some kind of influence from Scream. But again, if you're gonna go back to Scream, you're gonna have to look at the whole pop culture and figure out how it influenced it. Look at wrestling today. Professional wrestling had some kind of horror theme character in wrestling. Undertaker, not a big fan of Undertaker now because I found out his support, unfortunately. Now you have Bray Wyatt, who was influenced by horror, all kind of horror. So I have a feeling that maybe he was influenced by Freddy Krueger, Ghostface, and all that other stuff. And yeah, you could see that, especially with the mask and everything stored up. But yeah, pop culture, it does have an influence. I just don't know how much. But it does cover everything, like toys, collectibles, TV shows, somewhat, whole bunch of movies, video games. It's just Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anytime I play Dead by Daylight, anytime I play Dead by Daylight and I'm in a match with a Ghostface and he downs me, he'll teabag me. I'm just like, why are you doing this? I get teabagged by every Ghostface I'm up against.
Have you ever had a Ghostface teabag you and then take a picture going like that?
Yes.
I had that happened to me once. I was like, what the fuck you doing?
Yeah, well,
You
screw
get off of that shit? Oh, whatever. Good thing I turned off the mic and everything because I do not want to hear what that's saying.
Yeah, I don't blame you there. Speaking of pop culture, we've talked a little bit about the rules of horror that Randy established. So he's that horror nerd that guides us through the rules of horror and how to survive. We talked about it a little bit. Never have sex, never drink or do drugs, never say I'll be right back because you're not going to be back. You mentioned another rule to add to the list. Don't fuck with the daughter of a serial killer and you will survive. But what other horror movie survival rules would you add to this list?
How about Charlie mentioned going forward? You basically have to be gay. If you want to survive, you basically have to be gay. Okay, that's fine. We'll add that. It's funny that they didn't. It's sort of the own version of being a version, but okay.
Okay, that's interesting. I haven't seen Scream 4 in a long time, so I can't even begin to say what's in it and what's not. But one rule that I would add, always keep your cell phone charged. If you keep your cell phone charged, you can call people, you'll survive. Maybe.
I do have another really good rule as well. Safety in numbers.
Absolutely. Safety in numbers and don't split up.
Yeah, definitely don't split up because holy shit. Even if Ghostface tries to split you up, stay together, find a way to fight them. I mean, just get a goddamn hot poker from the fireplace and stab him while he's chasing you.
Yeah, find a gun like somewhere. And then just like he comes after you with this knife, like boom, there, he's gone. Goodbye, Ghostface.
For a reason.
Yeah, like a knife. You bring a knife to a gunfight, you're gonna lose. So that's why I say just go for the gun.
If you have a gun in the house.
If you do.
Not everybody's gonna own a gun, but yeah.
I would probably pull a Sydney and kick him in the stomach like multiple times and stomp on him.
How about the ball? That's good enough.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So you got your weapon that you're going to use to dispatch Ghostface.
So maybe for my weapon, baseball bat, straight up.
Good one. Good
and
one.
I can dispatch somebody in the head.
Yeah.
So remember, if the guy is bulletproof, it's not bulletproof in here.
There we go.
Yeah.
If I could find I wouldn't go for any weapons that would stick, like machetes or even knife sticks sometimes. I would probably, because everybody has tools in their house, I would find my hammer and then bonk him on the head with it.
Take off the mask before you go, if you have time.
That's true. Like, rip off the mask, bonk, run away.
You have to get out that quick. I hate it when that girl killed Huey like that. It was like, it's an honor. I'm like, yeah.
I was so mad.
I was crying at the whole time. I was mad and crying the whole time. The whole franchise has been pretty good so far, although there's something I didn't really agree with. But when you talked about centralized staging of violence, I wanted to add to that real quick. It's funny how you made a fake movie. They kept doing that, and they kept talking about it a lot throughout the whole franchise. And I think they made like what 8 dad movies.
I think you're right. 7 or 8 of
Yeah.
them.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Why
Now,
would they keep putting it up throughout all 6 of them? That was so weird.
yeah, and
Well,
now
except
there's
for the- well, actually, another 6 that did put it up, but yeah.
now there's going to be 7 Scream movies. So
Yeah, I think with number 7, they're not going to talk about it. They're just going to go a whole different direction with that.
yeah. Hopefully it turns out okay. We'll just have to see.
Well, if Stu Manchuk does come back, they did say that in number 6. If he's alive, if you believe he's dead, they did say that. If you believe he's dead. Toby did say that.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see if Stu comes back or not. Who knows? Casey definitely can't come back because she's dead. So people
Oh, hell no, man. Come on. How the hell are you going to come back? You might come back as a ghost. I'll be like, you didn't save me, Sydney.
Yeah. Dang it, Sydney. Now, I've got some fun little lightning round questions related to the movie. So I'm going to ask the question. You're just going to say the first answer that pops into your head. So,
Oh, boy. I might go with it because I have ADHD, but we'll try.
okay, we'll try. Okay, so who is scarier between the 2 killers, Billy or Stu? Who's
Billy.
scary?
Fucking Billy, always.
Ugh, I would agree with you there. My answer would be Billy. Your absolute favorite character in the movie?
Oh, man. That's why that was hard because I know you say there was a lot around, but definitely Sydney.
Sydney's a
I
good
was
one.
going to say Randy, but
Randy's
I'm
also a
feeling
good
for
one.
that.
So you could pick 2. So they could be like a tie for like first place, Sydney and
Yeah,
Randy.
definitely Randy and Sydney because that was my favorite.
What death in the movie shocked you the most?
Not Casey, obviously, definitely not, because I knew that was going to happen. And unfortunately, because it's not really a lightning round question, technically, it's tough because I've watched this movie so many times that it doesn't really stop me anymore. But the first time it stopped me, I will have to go with, maybe Kenny?
Oh, cameraman. Yes.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping he would make it, but
If they weren't on a 30-second delay, I think Kenny could have gotten in there in time and he would have been okay.
yeah.
Yep. Now, if you were invited to Stu's party, what horror movie would you bring to watch?
Oh, definitely would be Brandy. Silence of the Lamb. Although Silence of the Lamb did not. Wait a minute. This is the 1996, right?
Yes, Silence of the Lambs
What
came
year
out in
did Silence
1991.
of the Lamb come out? No,
1991.
okay. Thank you, perfect. I would have definitely brought Silence of the Lamb. Assuming that I was old enough at the time.
Yep. We're going to pretend that you are. So,
Okay,
good.
cool. Then, yeah.
Good.
I will run Silence of the Lamb, but when
Right.
what the fuck is wrong with you, man?
But hey, it's a good movie.
Yeah. Okay, fine. You're cool.
Boom. And last lightning round question. How creepy do you think Scream is on a scale of 1 to 10?
Depending on how you define creepy, in terms of like, with the anonymous card and the killed and all that, I would maybe an 8, 8.5, probably a 9.
Oh, that's pretty high up there. Creepy.
Because of the way we move around and everything, yeah.
Now, Yeah, me, I would probably go with probably a 6 or a 7. Probably me watching it so many times as a teenager has maybe taken away the creep factor for me a
And I
little bit.
thought for it though too, because at first in the beginning it would have been like an 8 or 9, but I'd watch it over and over, probably a 7 for me, maybe a 7.5. But yeah,
Okay, well, we have talked so much about Scream. We've talked about
I was talking about it. I had so much day,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah, we've talked about no. I like talking about horror movies. That's why whenever I put that post out there for people to come on, I was only expecting like maybe 12 people and that's it. But I got such a big response and I was so glad that you were one of the people that responded. I was hoping that you would because I wanted to get you on here to talk.
Well, I'm glad I could do that. Because to be honest, with drugs right now and everything, transgender people, non-binary people, and LGBT people do not have a big reach right now because there's a lot of depression, censorship. So my content don't get a lot of reach out there, so that's why it's kind of hard to like put our horror content out there if you're queer, trans, and all that. So stuff.
Yeah, it does suck.
So yeah, let's tell people how you can find me.
Yes.
Until
And
you don't become a creep about it.
yeah. So before you tell people where they can find you, do you have any last thoughts on why people should see Scream, whether they should watch it
Okay.
again or whether they should see it for the first time?
If you are watching it for the first time, especially as part of a new generation, I want you to be aware of that back then at the with that very different time, okay? Might be a little bit more sensitive about the language that they have back then. Some of it will be homophobic or possibly queerphobic in general. But remember, it is technically queer coded due to the fact that Billy and Sue might have some kind of queer love for each other, but we might never know. Now, one thing I will say about Green though, it is pretty good for a meta slasher considering how self-aware everybody was when they were talking about horror. The way Billy was talking about, hey, I was watching Oscar tonight and I got me thinking about, the way he talked about that is pretty interesting. Now, another thing you want to remember, uh, sorry about that spoiler, sorry about that, folks. But I'm not going to spoil it anymore for you. But I will say that if you're watching it for the first time, it's pretty damn good. It's a great way to start the franchise. There's no other loophole or whatever or anything like that. There's no prequel. There's none of that. Not unlike some other franchise. Because like with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you got different timelines. Or you have a connection, you figure out how it was, everything. That's confusing. How do want it done?
Yeah.
But with Green, you have a direct line. Don't know anything. I like want people to know how Green really started, especially since you're trying to find out how Roman Bridge started tracking his mother down for many years and all that stuff, and how Billy and Sue killed Disney's mother and everything, and how it all started and getting a whisper before the screen. And yeah, maybe you can get a prequel. But overall, it's a pretty damn good franchise. It's a great way to start the film. It's a great soundtrack, great music, great cast of characters. Steve Oler is wonderful actor, very wonderful. Yeah, he's a bit fucked up as a character, but he's a good actor in real life. Great human being. And if you meet him in person, he's such a sweetheart. He's not gonna fuck you up or kill you, I promise. Same with Matthew Lillard. Okay, he started with her. He's good and everything he does. So honestly, really good. Now, overall, I would say that for my final thought on this film, it's pretty damn good. Don't get me wrong, this was too light and too black as a shotgun. And wow, a whole new generation of different types of slasher film. It even inspired Eli Roth Thanksgiving last year. And now that movie Thanksgiving is going to become a Thanksgiving tradition every year
Yep.
for people to watch, most likely. So I'm saying that if it wasn't for Wes Craven, rest in peace, my man. If it wasn't for Wes Craven, horror would not be where it is today. Craven was one of the last old guard of horror, other than Toe Puper, who was that other guy? George Romeo.
Yeah.
There was a lot of horror icons, a lot of horror directors back then that did a lot of great films. But without them, it wouldn't be what they are today.
Yep. Can't forget John Carpenter either.
John Carpenter, yeah, I was going to mention them.
Yeah, I was making a joke with someone I recorded with earlier, like those last week, that I always have to find an excuse to mention John Carpenter and everything I do, and I got my excuse in this one. Yes.
Yeah, John Carpenter, he got a lot of good stuff. Even John Carpenter's Vampire is a good movie. That was a pretty damn good vampire movie. Why does he not make more about it?
Yeah, he's now at the point in his career where he just pretty much he doesn't give two craps about about much. And no, I love that for him. He's old,
video game now.
yeah. But now I would like to thank you so much for being on here with me and talking about Scream. Now you can tell everybody where they could find you and just about any projects you have coming up that people should keep an eye out.
Well, yeah. So I'm working on the last few episodes of the Horror Nerd Experience season 2 right now. We're getting closer to the season finale. The season finale will be on New Year's Eve. So we're getting closer. We're wrapping up the last few episodes. I'm coming back to LKTheHorrorNerd on my own platform, not just on YouTube, but on Spotify and all that other stuff. Excuse me. I'm catching up on old episodes and exporting it over to like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that other stuff, so you'll be able to catch up on past episodes. Working on new content on Patreon. I'm working on a whole bunch of new films right now with my studio, but it's taking some time again because of budget constraints, weather delay right now, unfortunately. We just got hit with a bad snowstorm, so we gotta wait a couple more weeks again. But yeah, we're trying to finish it up, hopefully. There's a lot of different projects I'm working on. I'm still tweaking my setting on OBS because I had some technical problems streaming on Twitch. But I should be getting back into that pretty soon because I got some pretty cool horror video games that I want to play. So you can see me on that. But of course, I have a whole bunch of other projects outside of horror as well. There's the Cozy Chaotic Nerd podcast that's coming out very soon. So there's a lot of good stuff going on. So if you want to find everything, the link tree, the 2 link tree pages, the Bad Act Gunny Gamer and LKTheHorrorNerd, and both link trees will be in the video description below. Now remember, because of Better TOS agreement coming up on January 1st, 2025, my Instagram will be private, Thread will be gone, but you can still find me on all the other platforms, Blaster, Patreon, everything. You can still follow me on Instagram, but you have to request to be a part of my close friends list. Brandy here is definitely on my close friends list, so look at that. You will be able to get updates on all my projects, everything I'm working on through close friends or any Instagram story. Because I do not want anybody taking my content, like my reels and stuff, using it for AI generated content because all my content is copyrighted by the studio. Everything that I have created has been edited and produced by the studio that I work with. So we work really hard on that. And we would not have enough money to buy a lot. So that's why we're taking everything offline and putting it behind Patreon and our official website and everything, and on YouTube. So no worry, you'll be able to find it. But thank you so much for your support, and thank you again for having me, so you can find everything. And please support independent filmmakers because we need you more than ever right now. And fuck Donald Trump.
Yes, thank you so much to everybody for watching this episode of Retro Horror Talks. Please like and share this episode with fellow horror fans because it really does help. And subscribe if you want to learn more about horror and dive into your favorite horror movies. Class is dismissed, everybody, and I'll see you next time.